Here is one crochet pig desk buddy that does not like a pigsty. Hi guys, I'm Katie from Yarn Society, and today we're going to crochet this cute little piggy who's going to hold all of your desk goodies. We're going to go on to supplies and then we'll start the pattern. Before we get started, I just want to talk about a few things. First off, the free written pattern is on yarnsociety.com, so you can grab it there. Also, you can slow down the video by using the gear button, and the instructions are in the pink slide before this. We will be working in the round, and I do recommend grabbing some stitch markers because I do use quite a few in this pattern. And then this is also an advanced beginner crochet pattern, so if you are just starting out crocheting, I wouldn't recommend this pattern, but you're more than happy to try it, and also you can slow it down. And there's also other videos linked down below that could help you out. We're going to get started by making the snout, so grab your yarn and your hook. Leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to use that for attaching, and then we're going to start out by making a slip knot and chaining 3. So here we have our slip knot. We're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. We're going to make a single crochet increase in that second chain from the hook, so this one here, and then we're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch. Here is our 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Then we're going to move over in the top of the chain, make a single crochet. Now we're going to work down the other side of the chain, so we're going to flip this. I'm just going to move my tail this way. We are going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch, and I'm just trying to find a needle to show you guys. Here would be our first stitch. We're going straight up into this stitch here, and then we're going to move over for a single crochet. So we're just working into these 2 stitches. Place your hook underneath that top chain and make 2 single crochet. Move over and make 1 single crochet. From here, I like to cut the yarn because I'm going to do a seamless join. So I'm going to try to make it about the same length as my beginning tail. Instead of fastening off, we're just going to pull the yarn all the way through and then go ahead and grab a yarn needle, and we're going to weave our yarn into that needle. I like to move over 1 stitch. You can always move over another one if you'd like. But I'm going to go underneath the stitch next to where I finished off. I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm going to go into the last stitch that I made. I'm going to go down the middle of that stitch. So here is the middle of this stitch, and I'm going to pull my yarn needle through. This kind of makes a little bit of a faux stitch, so it just looks a little bit nicer. Next, you just want to weave in both yarn tails to kind of meet up in the middle, back middle. The snout is really small, and it can be probably one of the trickiest parts of this whole pattern because it is so small. We're going to use these 2 yarn tails to attach our snout, so it's completely attached and it won't fall off, but it does move around. So if you don't like that, you can always use a little bit of fabric glue and glue that onto your pig. But this just makes it a lot easier for attaching. There's really no sewing involved. It's more like a knot than a sew. So once you have your 2 tails in the middle back, there is your snout. We're going to go ahead and place that to the side, and then we're going to move on to the head and the body next. For the head and body, we are going to start out the same way. We're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 7. So go ahead and chain 7. We are going to make a single crochet in that second chain from the hook, and then a single crochet in the next 5 chain stitches. So here is our first single crochet. Move over. Here is 2. We have 6 total. 3, 4, 5, and then our 6th. We are going to work on the other side of the chain. So we're going to flip that over, and we are going to make a single crochet in the next 6 stitches. And I'm just going to show you here which stitches we're going to be working into. we're going to go directly straight up into the stitch here. And if you can't see your stitches, you can go ahead and feel for them or even kind of pull them apart and you'll see where the little holes kind of show up. This yarn can be a little bit trickier with stitches. So here's our first single crochet. Here's our second. Here's our third. Our fourth. Our fifth, and then our last sixth single crochet. Okay, from here we have 12 stitches. Grab a stitch marker. I like to place it on my last stitch of the round, but feel free to place it on the first if that's what you'd like. We are going to be working in continuous rounds, so we're just going to go into the next stitch as usual. If you're just starting out, you might want to mark this round. This is round 1. This is probably the only confusing part. We're not working in a magic circle, so I don't know if this would confuse you more, but I'm just going to mark it just in case you need the help. So for round 2, we're going to make a single crochet increase in that first stitch and a single crochet into the next. We're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Place your hook under the first stitch. We'll make a single crochet increase. So there's single crochet 1 and 2. Move over for a single crochet. Repeat the sequence. We have a single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. Here is a single crochet increase. I'll be calling this an increase for the rest of the pattern. Move over for a single crochet. We have another increase. Single crochet. We have an increase. And then a single crochet. And then our last increase. End with a single crochet. And I'll be ending in my stitch marker stitch because I put it on the last stitch of the round. At the end of round 2, we have 18 stitches. For round 3, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. We have an increase in that first stitch, 2 single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. Now we have another increase. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Then we have another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. We have an increase. Single crochet in the next 2. We have another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. And then we have our last increase. Single crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 3, we have 24 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 4, we're going to make a single crochet in each of the next 24 stitches. You can just single crochet all the way around. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you were here in my last video, I said that we were going to make the fox together. So you're probably wondering where this pig is coming from. But I completely forgot I made this pig, and it was staring at me on my desk as I was fawning over the fox, and I got a bit jealous, and so I felt really bad. So I'm putting up the pig first so you all can have some pig love because I felt really bad that I forgot about him. So we are making him today, and then the next video will be the sweet little fox. I haven't shared a picture of the fox yet, but I will once I get started on the video, as I do want to take a poll if you guys like it with or without the tail. I am going to include the tail no matter what, but I want to see what your guys' preference is. Okay, we're at the end of round 4. We have 24 stitches still. For round 5, we are going to make an increase, single crochet increase in the first stitch. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here we have our first increase, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Then we have another increase. single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here is another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is an increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Increase, single crochet in the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And then our last increase, single crochet into the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 5, we're going to have 30 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 6, we are going to be making a decrease. So we're going to take 2 stitches, make them into 1, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. I like to make an invisible decrease, and if you don't know how to do that, I will show you this first time around, and if you need extra help, I have a video that will be linked down below. So for an invisible decrease, we're going to place our hook underneath the front loop of the first stitch, and then we're going to go directly under the front loop of the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So here is 1, move over, single crochet 2, move over, single crochet 3. We have another decrease. We're going to go under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 2, 3, and then we have another decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Here is another decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 3. Decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's our last decrease. Single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 6, we're going to have 24 stitches. For round 7, we are going to single crochet in each of the next 24 stitches. Just crochet all the way around until you reach the end. I don't know if any of you guys are watching the You series on Netflix, but I just watched the last final season ever. And whoa, that was the best season we've had. So let me know in the comments below if you're watching. I'm not going to do any spoilers. I just thought it was so good. I'm going to miss Joe Goldberg, as twisted as he is. But now I'm kind of lost at what to watch. So if you guys have any good recommendations, please put them down below into the comments because I don't like being without a good show. It makes me so sad. Okay, we're at the end of round 7. We still have 24 stitches. For round 8, we're going to do another decrease round. So we're going to decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. We're going to start with our invisible decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. We have another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here is a decrease, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and then we have our last decrease, single crochet in the next 2. Go ahead and place a stitch marker on the last stitch of the round. At the end of round 8, we have 18 stitches. For round 9, we are going to single crochet in the next 18. So you can just crochet all the way around until we reach the end. The school season ending is quickly approaching. I do have quite a few patterns written up in advance, but you may see me a little bit less because it is harder for me to find the time to kind of disappear and do all the pictures and videos and all the goodies. So I will try to be as consistent as possible if you are a regular around here. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of desk buddies in your future. I hope you like them. If you don't, maybe give it a little while until I get out of the desk buddy phase, because I will. But I just have a few more ideas in my brain that I have to get on paper. So please bear with me. I hope you do like them. Okay, at the end of round 9, we have 18 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. We are going to make the ears. We want to mark a few stitches with stitch markers. So if you don't have any stitch markers, please grab like bobby pins or something like that to keep your place. We are going to mark the back loop only of stitch 4 and stitch 8. So I'm going to count and find stitch 4. I'm going to mark that back loop only. And then I'm going to move over and find stitch 8. I am like the crazy stitch marker lady with all these patterns. Just so you know, you know, because you know I use them a lot. But we are going to crochet the ears, and I am going to grab quite a few stitch markers for the ears, at least 4. I do want to mark where we start and finish our ears so that it's easier for us in the next round. We're going to start out round 10 by single crocheting in each of the next 3. So we have single crochet 1, 2, and 3. In order to make the ear, we're going to work into the front loop only, and we're going to do a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, a chain 1, a half double crochet, and a single crochet, all in the same stitch. So we're going underneath the front loop only. Start out underneath the front loop with a single crochet. We're going to pause here, and we're going to place a stitch marker in that stitch. Then we're going to make a half double crochet, yarn over, go under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to make a double crochet, yarn over, go under the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. We're going to make a chain 1. Then we're going to make a half double crochet, so yarn over, go under the same front loop, just get your hook under there, go under all 3 loops. Then we are going to go under the same front loop and make a single crochet. We're going to pause and we're going to mark that stitch when we're done. And that is our first ear done. From here, we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Get your hook under there. This is single crochet 1, 2, and 3. We're going to make our second ear, so we're going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to start out by making a single crochet under that front loop only. Grab a stitch marker, mark that stitch. I went under both loops. I'm just going to move it to 1. We're going to make a half double crochet. Then we're going to make a double crochet underneath that same front loop. Chain 1, make a half double crochet, and then make a single crochet into that same front loop. This is our second ear done. Pause and mark that last single crochet. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 10 stitches. Don't forget that stitch that's right underneath your ear. It can kind of get hidden. So make sure you have 10 stitches as you crochet into the end. Okay, here is my 10th stitch. I'm going to change my stitch marker. I have 18 stitches in this round. We are not counting the ears, so we have our 3. We'll count that back loop. This is 4. Our 3 in the middle, that's 7. We have our back loop, that's 8, plus the 10 here, and that's 18 stitches. So we're not counting those stitches in the blue stitch markers. For round 11, we are going to single crochet into those first 3 stitches. Then we are going to ignore the ear. We're going to single crochet into that back loop that we marked. So get your hook under that stitch. I'm going to take out the stitch marker and make a single crochet. Now we're going to reach our hook over to the stitch next to the stitch marker. It can feel a little awkward, but get your hook under there and we're going to single crochet in the next 3. So this is 1, move over, single crochet 2, and then this is 3. Ignore the stitch marker for the ears. We're going to go into that pink one, that back loop that we marked, and make a single crochet. I'm going to take out my stitch marker. Then I'm going to place my hook into the stitch next to the blue stitch marker. Get your hook over. Underneath that stitch, you can feel a bit awkward. Single crochet in the next 10. So this is 1, 2, and continue counting till 10. We're going to change our stitch marker. We still have 18 stitches, and now we can take out all of our ear stitch markers as well. And here are our cute little piggy ears. For round 12, we are going to make an increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here is our first increase. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Then we have another increase. Single crochet in the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. And then we have another increase. Single crochet in the next 2. 1 and 2. And then we have another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Increase. Single crochet in the next 2. Increase. Single crochet in the next 2. Okay, we're going to change our stitch marker at the end of round 12. We still have 24 stitches. For round 13 and 14, we are going to single crochet in the next 24. So you can do 13, change your stitch marker, and then do round 14. I'm just going to show you how I like to mark my round 13 because this will be helpful for when we want to place our snout and our eyes. So I'm going to do about 3 stitches. I'm going to grab one of those handy stitch markers and place it horizontally onto one of those stitches. This way I know this is 13. We'll go ahead and change our stitch marker and then do round 14. And then we will meet back at the end of round 14. We're at the end of round 14. So we have our marked round 13. We have round 14. Now we're moving on to round 15. We are going to make an increase in that first stitch and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is our first increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Then we have another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3. We have another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Here's another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Here's another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Increase. Single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 15, we have 30 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 16, we are just going to single crochet in the next 30. Single crochet all the way around until you reach the end. If you decide to sell any of these little desk buddy guys, like in a market over the summer or anytime, or like on an Etsy shop, I did create a printable that is like a little, like looks like supplies, like a pencil, crochet hook. And you can print this up. It's a free link, and I will show a picture at the end of the video. But you can print these up, just cut them out and place them in your desk buddy so that when you have them displayed, they know kind of an idea of like what they do. Because if I just saw this sitting there, I might be kind of wondering, but I thought it was a cute idea just to kind of show what it does without having to put any of your own supplies or anything in it. So I'm going to put that link in the description box below, and I'll show a picture at the end of the video. At the end of round 16, we still have 30 stitches. For round 17, we're going to make a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here is a decrease, single crochet in each of the next 3, a decrease, single crochet in the next 3, here is another decrease, single crochet in the next 3, oh, I'm struggling with these. Here is another decrease, single crochet in the next 3, here is another decrease, single crochet in the next 3, decrease, single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 17, we're going to have 24 stitches. From here, we are going to be working on our small bobbles and our regular bobbles and our tail. So this is all in the same round. We're going to be working all the bobbles into the front loops only. And then we'll be going back into both loops as we continue. So bobbles, front loop only. I will go slow and talk you through the bobbles and the tail. We're going to start out by making a single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. Here is single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2. We are going to make a bobble, which is going under that front loop only 5 times, and I'll go a little bit slower in the beginning. So we're going to yarn over, place our hook under that front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, we're going to go under that front loop. This is our second time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, we're going to go under our third time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our 4th time under that same front loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our 5th and last time going under that same front loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. You will now have 6 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 6 loops. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Don't miss that stitch that's right next to your bobble. So here's single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2, and then single crochet 3. We're going to make a small bobble, which is going underneath that front loop 3 times. Yarn over, going under our first time, the front loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our second time. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our third time going under the same front loop. Yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook. You have 4 loops left to go over all through all 4 loops. We're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We have another small bobble. So this is 1, go through 2, yarn over. This is 2, go into that same front loop. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, this is our 3rd time going under that same front loop. Yarn over, go through 2. You have 4 loops on the hook. Go through all 4 loops. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. We have a front loop only regular bobble that's 5 times. Yarn over, this is our 1st time. Go through 2. Yarn over, this is our 2nd time. Go through 2. Yarn over, this is our 3rd time. Go through 2. Our 4th. Go through 2. And then our 5th. Go through 2 loops on the hook. You'll have 6 loops left. Go through all 6 loops. From here, we're going to single crochet into the next 7 stitches. Don't forget that little stitch here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. From here, we're going to make the tail, so we are going to chain 6. We're going to make 3 single crochet into that 2nd chain from the hook, and then 3 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, working down that chain. So in that 2nd chain from the hook, we're going to make 3 single crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to make 3 single crochet into each of the next 4. So this is our 1st stitch. Make 3 single crochet. This is our 2nd stitch, the top chain. This is 3 single crochet. This is our 3rd chain stitch. Make 3 single crochet. And then our 4th stitch, we're going to make 3 single crochet. It can get a little bit tricky here, so just take your time and go slow. And then we're going to single crochet in that last 2 stitches of our round. So here's 1 and 2. At the end of round 18, so here's our little tail, little cutie tail. At the end of round 18, we're going to change our stitch marker. We have 24 stitches. We're going to place a stitch marker on that working yarn because we don't want to lose it. We're going to pop out our bobbles, and then we're also going to place our snout and our eyes. So you can go ahead and pop out the bobbles you made. And then we are going to place our snout. We're going to place that between round 14 and 15. And because we marked round 13, we know where we are. So this is 13. And then go down to 14 and 15. I like to kind of find the center of those small bobbles and go through 14 and 15. I'm just going to stick my needle there for a second. And then I'm going to place my snout down. I'm actually going to grab a little pin. So grab whatever you can if you want. You can just kind of pin it in place. I'm going to grab one of those yarn tails. And I'm just going to put it through a stitch between round 14 and 15. So I'm just going to pull it through. Go ahead and grab your other yarn tail. And I'm going to put it into the stitch next to the one that I put my other yarn tail into. So just scoochy over. I put it in there. So I'm going to move over to this one. And now I'm just going to make a double knot on the inside of the pig. So I'm just going to get it straight. And I'm happy with the placement. So now we're going to knot it up. If this was for an adult for their desk, I would probably just leave this. But if this was for a kiddo or a kiddo is going to have access to this, you might want to weave in those yarn tails just to give it a little bit of extra security because kids love to like pull on everything and that snout may come off or something crazy. I don't even know. Just security, extra security is good. If you wanted to, you could always add fabric glue around the edges and then once you're all done and then kind of let that dry overnight. Let's go ahead and grab your 14 millimeter safety eyes. We're going to put those between round 14 and 15 as well. We are going to place those next to the snout. I personally like to place them right next to the snout. One eye always looks like it's a little underneath the snout more than the other one, but you can always feel free to move them over if you'd like, if you need more space. When we do create the little desk buddy, it does kind of stretch out a little bit, but if you wanted something like that, you could totally do whatever look you liked. I tend to go right underneath that snout, and then you'll see later how it kind of stretches out just a little bit. So if you're happy with the eye placement, go ahead and put the backings on the eyes, and then we will move on with the pattern. I'm going to take out round 13. I don't need this anymore, so you can do that as well. And this is what we're looking like so far. So I'm going to take out that working yarn stitch marker. I'm going to get set up again. And then for round 19, we are going to make a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. These stitches can be a little bit harder to see because of the bobble, so if you need to, just kind of feel for where those stitches are, and that's really helpful. Start by making a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's 1 and 2. Make another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Another decrease, single crochet 1 and 2. We have a decrease, single crochet, and then single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. We have another decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and then we have a decrease here, so we're going into these 2 stitches. We have here, and then grab your next stitch for the decrease. It can get a little wonky with the tail. Decrease. And now we're going to hold our tail down so that we can reach our hook over to the last 2 stitches. So get your hook over there and make a single crochet and then a single crochet in the last stitch. At the end of round 19, we have 18 stitches. For round 20, we are going to make a decrease and then a single crochet, and we're going to repeat that sequence. So here is a decrease and then a single crochet. We have another decrease and a single crochet, and then I'm going to let you count your decrease and your single crochet. At the end of round 20, we have 12 stitches. For round 21, we are going to be making a decrease 6 times. So we're just going to decrease until we reach the end. Here is our first decrease. Here is our second. And I'm going to let you guys count until you reach the end. Here is our last decrease. At the end of round 21, we only have 6 stitches. We're going to take out this stitch marker. I'm going to leave a long tail, and we are just going to fasten off. Yarn over and pull your yarn all the way through, and then I just like to give this a little tug at the end. Grab a yarn needle. We are going to close this little friend up. I like these. Sometimes for this yarn, it's kind of fun because you can open it and it makes it really easy. I'm going to go behind the front loop of the first stitch. This is 1. Pull my yarn all the way through. This is stitch 2. Here is stitch 3. Here is 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to start to close this up and watch that little hole as I close it. And then I'm going to place my needle right back through that hole. You got to keep an eye on it because it does kind of disappear. We're going to weave our yarn up through the piece, kind of have to go in little increments. So just pull up there, and then this is how the bottom of our desk buddy will look. Nice and flat. So I'm going to go back up to that same stitch. A little tough to see, and then we're just going to inch our way back up. Go ahead and cut off that extra bit of yarn. And now this is where we create our little desk buddy. Look how fun he looks. We're going to start to roll the top down and then just kind of tuck it as you go. You kind of need to like grasp on to the bottom to roll. It can feel a little bit like slippery and awkward. But your goal is to get the round right by the ears to meet up at the top. Does that make any sense? I want to roll this down so that I only see the ears popping up. You're going to smooth it out in the middle. You're going to do a lot of like smushing and moving everything around. I want it to be flat as can be on the inside. It can go pretty flat. Your eyes, the back of your safety eyes shouldn't poke through, but sometimes they can. So I'm trying to show you the inside here. And then I also just like to adjust my eyes and just make sure everything is kind of lining up as I'd like. So just make sure that that top round is pushed down so just your ears are showing. And now you can see that the eyes kind of push out a little bit. And here's this little curly tail. It's not exactly in the middle because of our decrease round, but it's good enough. So just adds a little bit of quirkiness to our pig. So that's it. We are finished. If you wanted to add that fabric glue, I would do it now and then let your friend sit overnight. And now he is ready to be filled up. One more thing you can do is just pop out your bobbles with your yarn needle. And that's just like the last finishing touch for our friend. Here are the different looks that he can have. He even holds stitch markers very nicely. I did put a gift card in one, and it's a nice little tight fit, but it does fit. It does make him look a little bit squarish, but I thought that kind of looked cute. So you can always add this for like a teacher gift at the end of the year or something like that. Here are those printables I was talking about. You can add those in. You can do those for your photos. You can put them in for your market. And it just adds some, like a fun little look for him, and it kind of shows what he does. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please catch me next time for my next video. And I have a few other desk buddies, so you can always head over to yarnstudy.com and check out the free patterns and the videos.